Hey guys, welcome to the video. In this video, we'll be starting with day 5 of shell scripting series, and this is a series which I'm doing. So stay tuned. At the end of the class, you'll be able to you'll be able to attempt a quiz which I've created, and you'll be able to see the score also. The quiz will be related to the classes which I've taken till now. Like day 1, I've covered shebang, how to use shebang and why shebang has been used. And day 2, variables, what are variables and why are they used. And day 3, user input. I was giving user input, and then on the basis of that we are working on that, right? And day 5, if conditionals, we worked on if conditionals. And day 4 we worked on if conditionals, and day 5 we'll be working on, we'll deep dive into for loops, like how they are used in Kubernetes cluster management. This will be complete hands-on session, so stay tuned and follow along. Yeah, so for this we need Kubernetes cluster, so I have Kubernetes cluster with me. Get nodes. If I see, I have a K3s cluster created already. Yeah, so let's follow along and let's see how we can write scripts for managing the Kubernetes cluster. So in our environment, in our company, like there are around 18 Kubernetes clusters comprising of total 15,000 nodes. So to manage those 15,000 nodes, we would require scripts, and we cannot do manually to add taint and add labels on nodes. So for that, we write many scripts. So that's a part of what we write. So what I wrote, I'll be teaching what I wrote as a part of that. So yeah, so let's go along and start writing the script. Yeah, for loops, we'll be focusing on for loops, only for loops for now. And once for loops are done, then we can focus on some other scripts later on. But for this video, I'll be focusing only on for loops. And please be mindful, at the end of the video there's a bonus, like there's a quiz I've created on the basis of day 1, 2, 3, 4 classes. So you'll be able to attempt those quiz and also get the score out of that. So stay tuned. Yeah. Hi guys, so do we have a cluster? Let's see, we have cluster. We have K3s cluster created already. So we'll write script. Let's suppose we have 5 nodes, out of which one is master node and 4 are worker nodes. Let's suppose these 4 worker nodes are not healthy. They are ready, but they are not ready to take pods. Like there's some node problem on these worker nodes. So we have to add taint on these worker nodes. How do we add taint on these worker nodes all together? We can write a script for that. We can use for loop for that, but we'll write a script and let's see how we can add taint on these worker nodes. Yeah. So we in our organization, like I said, right, there are around 18 clusters and there are 15,000 nodes. So sometimes what happens is node is ready, but they're not ready to schedule any pod on that node. At that point of time, we add taint on the node so that no pod should schedule on the node. Like let's suppose if I cordon the node, somebody would go and uncordon the node and schedule the pod, but pod will not be ready. Like it will not run on that node. So to avoid those things, we add taint on the node. So let's add taint script. Taint on all worker nodes. Let's start with bin bash. So whenever it happens, we tend to raise Jira with the concerned team, and the concerned team will take this node as maintenance. And then what we do is we add taint on the basis of Jira ID. So this is Jira ID. So let's add that same faction. 𝐏𝐥𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐿, let get nodes. I only want worker nodes. Metadata. Name. And we'll grep for. In grep -v we'll filter only worker nodes. This will give out only worker nodes. Let's see if this command runs. this should only give worker nodes, but it also giving worker control plane nodes. Yeah. Rather than using master as a role, we'll use control plane. In that, it will only give worker nodes. Let's do that. Let's put this into a variable. We'll put this into a variable. Uh, Nodes. And what's the taint key we want to add? No problem. This is taint key. And what's the taint value? Let's give some Jira ID. Like this is how we get to understand the taint on this Jira, right? Taint on this node. So when we add Jira value, it will give the Jira value output. So on the base of Jira, we go to Jira and then try to check if why this taint has been added on this node. So that's how we check. Let's give some random Jira ID 1012 taint effect. No. No schedule. No should be O should be smaller. Now everything is set up. So now let's go and add. Let's go and write for loop for that. For node. So ours is a array, right? So it's more than one. So it's array. For that, let's write array. To get arrays, we have to write this way: nodes dollar at the rate do. Let's write some output echo tainting node. Let's add command 𝐶TL taint nodes. Write the variable node taint key taint value taint effect. Hyphen override hyphen override. We are you doing it because we want to have it forcefully done on these nodes. Done. Echo all non-masters master nodes tainted with this. Let's save it. Yeah. So let's change the permission for this file. No, change permission, right? Let's run this file. What's the error? Okay. So here it is missing. Uh, Comma is missing. So I've added comma. Here bracket is not that bracket is missing. So now we should run. Bin bash telemetry map mark is missing. There was an issue with that with the script. I've made changes. So let's see. It has modified as added taint on the node. So let's see the taint. To see the taint, we can get kubectl get nodes -o JSON JQ items name metadata name taints spec Oh, JQ is not there. Okay, let's install JQ. Okay, so these are the worker nodes which are tainted recently. We'll get the taint on all the nodes. It will try to check on all the nodes. We can get the nodes which are tainted with this Jira ID and all. You can get this by using this. Yeah, these are the nodes which are tainted. Key no problem, and value Jira ID, and effect is no schedule. So these are the nodes which are tainted right now. So that's how we do it actually. So whenever we wanted to taint any node or any node with the particular Jira ID or any other issue, then we taint it this way. Like we basically what we do is we don't use kubectl command to get the nodes. We basically pass the particular node IP or node name in the variable, and to that variable we try to fetch the node, and then that's how try to we try to taint the node in the cluster, and that's how we stop pods from scheduling. Yeah. So how do we untaint the node? Let's untaint the node with using another script. Maintenance is completed, and these two nodes, if I see these two nodes are ready to schedule pods, and I want to remove taint on this node. So how do I remove the taint? I can remove the taint by writing a script untaint .sh. Okay, as I was saying, this variable, I can pass it. I can give the node name here, multi node cluster worker 0 worker 2 multi node cluster worker 3. So these two nodes I want to remove taint on. So let's try to remove the taint. And what's the taint key? Taint key was no problem, right? And let's write for loop node in echo removing. You can customize this information also. Taint from node kubectl taint nodes node taint key overwrite if, writing a condition now, if mm, equal to 0, then echo taint removed from the node, else echo failed to remove taint from node. File done, echo done removing taints from selected nodes. Let's save the file, change permission, run the file. Oh, again some issue. Chat 1789. See now, it has removed taint, right, from worker 2 and worker 3. So let's see how many nodes we have with taint. Like only two worker nodes with that taint. So that's how we add taint, and that's how we remove taints on particular nodes. So this is how we write script for this. So let's move to some other script using for loop. We'll be adding labels on the node using the for loop now. Let's see, we will try to add labels on the node to schedule particular pod on the node. So tainting and untainting is completed now. So that's all. We can move to adding labels now. So let's write label script. Let's define bin bash. Similar fashion, let's get the node. Like let's copy it from the other script. Copy it from taint. Want to add label on all the worker nodes. So echo, just give information, adding label to node kubectl label node. What's the label I want to give? Let's suppose I have a label to add, that is prod. Like let's suppose I have a label which is mcp 𝐾𝐧𝐜𝐿 prod equal to Hyderabad. Override I'll do, because override if I do it, it will allow me to add forcefully. Done. Done. Echo all worker nodes labeled with mcp 𝐾𝐧𝐜𝐿 prod equal to Hyderabad. Let's change permission for this. Again same error I'm getting. Line number 9. Same error I'm getting. I've not added this. Okay. I have to close that, right? So I've closed it now. Now let's see. It is labeled. Yeah, let's get the nodes which are labeled. You can get it by -l. We give the label. These are the nodes which are labeled. Yeah, so like how do we remove it now? For removing it, again we can write a script vi unlabel .sh. No, nothing, I guess nothing. Same script. That's all. It will work now. Okay, so it has removed the label also now. Now let's see how many nodes are there with that label. We don't have any nodes as of now. That's how we add label and remove label using the script. We have used for loop for that. So extensively we have used for loop only for adding label on the node and removing label on the node. And just before that we have used for loop for adding and removing taint, right? So let's see how we can how we can cordon and uncordon the node. Let's see how we can do it using the same concept. Let's do that. Yeah. Now let's cordon the specific nodes. Let's write script for that. Cordon.sh. Let's copy the same. I want to cordon two nodes. Let's suppose I have to cordon two nodes. For that I can write here multi-node cluster worker multi-node cluster worker 2. There are two nodes I want to cordon, and let's see how we can cordon it. For node in nodes echo cordoning. This is the message I want to give as an output. Cordoning node 𝐏𝐥𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐿 cordon node. If it is already cordon, it will skip. Let's see. I will write that logic here. cordoning specific nodes. Again, some syntax to I guess. Again, same thing here. I missed out. Closing the bracket, closing the inverted comma. Mm, line 8 not found, command not found. Let's see what we can do. Here I can see one part, inverted comma is missing. Just cordon the node. Just cordon the node already. To uncordon these three nodes. Let's write script to find the cordon nodes and uncordon them. Let's define the interpreter. Nodes multi node cluster worker continuous cluster 2 3. You try to see if node is already cordoned or not. Node in schedule 𝐶HEDULABLE schedulable variable. We are putting that into a variable. Let's get the pods, get the nodes, and then try to put it into a variable. kubectl get node node -o JSON path equal to spec unschedulable dev null. We're ignoring the errors. So by using dev null, we'll ignore the errors. Schedulable, everything is correct, right? Yeah. If, let's write if condition schedulable to then echo Uncordon. And minimizing the effort here, like I'm trying to check if node is cordon, then only I'll try to uncordon it. Else it will go and check on all the nodes, and that would be a big task. I'm avoiding all those things. kubectl uncordon node. Else echo node is already schedulable. F5, closing the if condition, then done. Done. Echo Uncordon process completed. Let's see if we wrote all this script correctly or not. Nodes, we have put it into variables, and then after that for loop, and again I'm missing that in double inverted comma there. I keep forgetting that. Yeah. Okay. Mm, let's save it. Let's change the permission. Let's run it. Again some issue is there. Line number 14. Let's see. See now. Where did I miss the inverted comma? Somewhere I missed it. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, get nodes. Okay, get nodes. So we have Uncordon also. So this is how we try to write for loop for various Kubernetes related tasks, operations tasks. Like this is how we cordon all the nodes which are in maintenance or maybe some issue on the node. So we try to cordon all the nodes and we try to uncordon all the nodes using this kind of scripts. We have written many scripts for this, so we can write function for this as well. Rather than writing shell script, we can write a script. We can write a function and then we can directly provide a function like cordon, and then node. If we give node name, then it should go and cordon all the nodes. It won't work now, but I'm telling you, like function we can write. We can write function and put it into bash rc file. That's so function we can put in bash rc file, and that's how the function will run. So we can in function we can write the bash script. So that's how we do it. So we have written many functions for various things, like for adding taint also we have written function. In function we have written bash script. So when we call a function using arguments, such as arguments, we are giving these as arguments, node names as argument, right? So this will go and run the script, and will go and run the function, and function will run the script, and that's how taint and label and cordon will happen on the node. So that's all I wanted to cover. So after this, now the next thing is we run Ansible to add nodes, right? So to run Ansible, we have to comment certain IPs and we have to uncomment certain IPs. So we do that using script itself. So we can use it script for that. So let's use the script for that. Write script for commenting the IPs and uncommenting the IPs. We do this whenever we want to run Ansible to add nodes or worker nodes. Like let's suppose there are some nodes to be added to the cluster. For adding that node to the cluster, there are IPs which are already there. So we want to comment those IPs and uncomment the IPs which I want to run script on. Let's do that. Let's create a file. Let's name it as file.txt. Like in real time, it will not be file.txt. It will be inventory.ini file. But for namesake, I'm naming it as file.txt. Let's add some IPs. One, and this would be worker node. This is how we add. This is how we add inventory file. We create inventory file for the Ansible run. 0 2 worker node 2 192 168 0 25 worker node 3 192 168 0 37 worker node. Like we don't have IPs, especially we have created K3 cluster, right? We will not be getting particular IPs for the nodes, because nodes are created as a containers. So that's why I'm creating this file for that. Yeah, so let's create one more. 192 168 0 39 39 worker node Why does come like this? I have a file. Let's add that. I have this file. Let's suppose these are the inventory file which I have, and let's comment all the IPs. To comment all the IPs, there is the command sed -i. To comment all IPs, there is a command for that. You can comment all IPs using set command. This is the command to comment all IPs. Just commented all IPs. Now to remove comment from all IPs, we'll write a script for that. But to uncomment, to comment specific IPs, we can write a script for that. Let's write a script for that. Now let's suppose out of the complete list, there are 5 IPs which are already there in the cluster. I don't want to comment them, but I want to comment them, but I want to uncomment everything else. So let's see if we have everything uncommented. Yeah, uncommented. Everything is uncommented. So I want these 5 nodes to be commented. Like these 5 nodes are not there in the cluster right now. Let's suppose, and these are all nodes are there in the cluster, and I want to comment these 5 nodes and add those to the cluster. We can add it by writing a script. File path. Let's give file path. File.txt. Let's give permission to that file also. IPs to comment. Let's write list of IPs. What are the IPs? These are the 5 IPs which I want to comment. Let's copy it. Add it to inverted comma. You might not understand why am I doing this, but this is very important in our real time scenario. Echo commenting the IPs specified IPs. in file path for IP in comment set. We'll use set -i, and then we'll specify like whatever starts with we'll grep for the IPs which are commented. File path done. Echo commented specified IPs as displayed below. We have written everything correctly, right? So let's check once again. These IPs, yeah, I want to specify like okay. Did I miss out anything? IPs to comment. I don't think I missed out anything. So let's try to run this command, run this script. Okay, some error is there. Every time. Line number 20. Let's see what's there. Let's see now. Let's see now. Let's try to run this now. These are the IPs commented. So we wanted this to comment, right? So let's see. Let's cat the file and see. Yeah, they are commented. So required IPs are commented. So required nodes are commented. So we can run on the remaining nodes. We can run the Ansible now. So these are already existing nodes in the cluster. So we didn't want to run Ansible on these nodes, and we wanted to run Ansible on this. Like, you can ignore master node because for namesake I've added that. But you understood the concept, right? So we are uncommenting the IPs and trying to run Ansible on the remaining IPs. Yeah. So now let's try to uncomment the IPs. Uncomment the required IPs. Now let's see how we can uncomment the required IPs. let's suppose these are the commented IPs and these are not existing in the cluster. I wanted to add it into the cluster, and these are the new nodes which are there, which are added into the cluster. New nodes which are supposed to be added to the cluster. So I'll try to comment all these, uncomment all these IPs now. Let's see how I can uncomment those IPs using a script. I've explained each and every line in a blog which I've written, right? A blog, there's a blog which I've written, so you can follow the blog as well. Explained each and every line in blog. Let's try to comment all the IPs and then try to uncomment some IPs. Comment all the IPs using this command. Once this is done, let's try to uncomment some of the IPs, like these IPs, some of the IPs. Let's suppose I want to add some nodes and I want to uncomment only those. So let's see how I can uncomment only those required IPs. Yeah, let's copy that. What's the next IP? We can probably go and check. We can copy uneven. We can copy unevenly. These are the three IPs which I want to uncomment. Let's see. Let's see. I can run the script and I can uncomment it. Let's write the script for that. Yeah. For IP in IPs to uncomment. Do let's write sed -i. Try to get from starting if whatever it is hash. Replace with file path. Okay. Let's try to grep also. Correct. I've explained this command also in the blog. In the blog, you can read the blog and you can try to get to understand like what this means, like what this hash uh, slash s means, and what this means, like what this hash means, and you can find it in the blog itself. Like I've written blog. Have been uncommented and displayed above. Script is completed. Let's see if let's run and see if it is running fine or not. Some error would be there. I know some error would be there. Issue. Let's try to debug the issue. Let's try to run the script. line number 18. I don't see any issue in line number 18. What's the issue? Sorry. Oh, we have forgotten inverted comma here in line number 15. Try to run the command. Let's try to check the file if those are uncommented. Yeah, these IPs are uncommented, right? So we wanted this only, this only to happen. They're uncommented, and we can run Ansible on these nodes. That's all I wanted to cover. Like we commented some IPs and we uncommented some IPs. The reason we are doing this because we are creating Kubernetes clusters using Ansible and through automation, right? So when Kubernetes cluster is already created, we have prod clusters. On that prod cluster, there are 3,000 nodes in one of the prod cluster. And due to capacity, we were supposed to add some other nodes into the cluster. When we add some other nodes to the cluster, we try to comment all the IPs and then try to uncomment the required IPs. IPs and then run Ansible on these nodes. First, we try to comment all the IPs and then try to uncomment some of the IPs which are recently added, and we try to run Ansible on these nodes and try to add this to the cluster. Yeah, so we are using on-prem solution like on-prem KubeADM clusters we are creating. So we have private cloud which is FCP, which is created using OpenStack, which has been managed by some other team, and we get nodes. So we have a dashboard. So on dashboard we create nodes. Once nodes are created, we get the IP of the node, and then on the basis of that, we try to put that into inventory.ini file, and then try to run Ansible specifically for this cluster. For different clusters, there are different files. So for specifically for running for specific cluster, then we try to create inventory.ini file on that specific folder, and try to add nodes to that specific folder, and then try to add nodes to the specific cluster. And that specific cluster, when we run Ansible, nodes will get added, and we try to call specific roles in Ansible to run on these specific nodes. That's how we add nodes to the cluster. I'll be showing that everything in setting up Kubernetes cluster using Terraform and Ansible. In using Ansible, I've showed everything like how do we. I've not created videos on that, but I'll be creating videos on that. Like how do we call different kinds of roles into one playbook, and then through that playbook, how do we run on one playbook and try to call different roles and playbooks through that one playbook, and then that's how we install packages and required packages into the node, and then that's how we add nodes to the cluster. I'll be creating videos on that. So once I create video on that, you'll get to know why we are uncommenting and commenting the IPs here. This is a real-time use case which I've been following in my company. This is a real-time use case which we are following. Now the other script which we will write is, sometimes what happens is node become unhealthy and we want to replace that node with another one. To replace that node, we have to SSH into the node and then try to delete the etc Kubernetes file. Before deleting the Kubernetes file, delete the etc Kubernetes folder. So we don't do that manually. Let's suppose if I have to delete 10 nodes, so getting into each node and deleting that file folder would be it's a huge task. It would take more amount of time. For that, we have created a script for that, so that it will go and delete on all 10 nodes, whatever 10 nodes we specify. It will go and delete on those 10 nodes and try to reset the node. Kubernetes reset it will do. After that, we'll remove that node and then we'll try to create some more nodes in cloud and then try to add via Ansible using the same approach, like using uncommenting some IPs and uncommenting the required IPs, and then we try to add to the cluster. That's how we do it. Now let's write script for that. Like how do we remove etc Kubernetes folder from the nodes which are unhealthy, or let's suppose I want to remove some nodes extra buffer capacity from my cluster. For removing extra buffer capacity from the cluster, we need to delete etc Kubernetes folder from the node. Let's do that. Let's write a script for that, and let's try to write how we can do that by a script. We'll be requiring for loop for that. So we have written four for loops till now. Like first thing is we have added taint and untainted it, and then second is label and unlabel it. And third is what was the third one? Third one is cordoning and uncordoning the node, and fourth one is this commenting and uncommenting the IPs. And fifth one, the last one would be like these are the five scripts which I want to show you, real time five script which we utilize in our company. So I want to show you that. So this fifth one would be to delete the etc Kubernetes folder from specified nodes before deleting the node from the cluster. So let's go and write it. Yeah. Now let's start. Delete node, not sh. Let's create the interpreter. Containers. Let's create a variable containers. Let's write the node's name. Let's add for loop for containers, for loop for the nodes. Extra backpass. write a message connecting to container. Let's run the command docker exec. Kubernetes dash -c. The command I want to run rm-rf removing etc on Kubernetes folder and get the status of the previous command. Let's check now if condition will write if status of previous command successful, then etc Kubernetes in container. Reason we are saying container because now Kubernetes is running inside the container. Let's add a log file for that for each and every command. It will try to log each and every command, and let's see. Let's add that log file here. If docker status is equal to 0, then it is successfully deleted. Else we have to write else also. Else echo failed to delete etc Kubernetes in container. Log this also. Set F5. Let's drain the node kubectl drain container ignore daemon set. Daemon set spelling is correct, right? Again, let's get the status of the previous command. If drain status equal to 0, then echo successfully drained container let's log this all this also this line also log file else echo fail to drain container log file log file. Now let's write kubectl delete node container delete status is equal to dollar question mark. If delete status equal to 0, then echo successfully deleted container from the cluster let's log this file also. else echo failed to delete the cluster. Completed. Check the log file. Yes, we have written that. So first, what we are doing it. First we are executing into the container, trying to delete this file, and then later, if it is successfully deleted or not, we are checking this by using a if condition. And then we are draining the node using this command, and after that we are deleting the node. So three operations we are doing here. First we are deleting this file, and then later, once this file is deleted, this node will become not part of the cluster. Maybe it will be part of the cluster, but once this file is deleted, it's gone. We can't do anything after this file is deleted. So after that, we are draining the node, and then we are deleting the node. So this is the entire script which is written here. Let's run the script and see. There will be errors. Yeah, there will be errors, I guess. Yeah. I could see that I've missed out one inverted comma here. Now let's see. There is something else. Try to run the command. End of file. This is missing somewhere. Inverted comma is missing. So let's try to add that. Yeah, here it is missing. Has deleted remove all the etc Kubernetes folder, and then try to drain and try to delete the node. Let's see if nodes are there. Only master should be there. Yeah, only master is there. So all the worker nodes are deleted. That's how we delete the instance and also, yeah. So that's all the overall understanding of how we write for loops for various other tasks related to Kubernetes management. And this is how we write. So these are the 5 scripts which I've written in my video. So you can probably follow along, and you can do your own experiment, and you can write the same script if you want to. I'll provide the Git repository. You can follow the Git repository, and you can write it. So I've written a blog around it. This is the blog explaining each and every line. So I've written blog, so you can read the blog also while doing the experimentation. I've written the blog, so this blog is there. You can follow the blog, and you'll get the commands from the blog as well. I'll provide the Git repo also, Git repository also. From Git repository also, we'll find the command. So yeah, so that's all. So now at the end, I said right. At the end, I'll provide one quiz. I said right, quiz. If I see the quiz, This is the quiz.
Which bash script checks if the current user is an admin or writer for managing blog posts and provides appropriate access? Which script checks that only admins can delete blog posts? Which script moves all blog posts older than 30? You want to label all worker nodes with. You need to prevent new pods from being scheduled on all worker nodes. You need to prevent new pods from being scheduled on all worker nodes, except the control.
So that's how we get the result at the end of the quiz. You will get the result also at the end of the quiz. You can probably go and give the quiz at the end of the video. You'll be able to get the result at the end of the video. At the end of the result, quiz results you will get it. So yeah, so I have set it as 60% as passing. So that's why I'm failing, because I have provided three wrong answers, right? So that's why I'm failing. Maybe around 7 questions are there in the quiz. You can just attempt the quiz. I've not made it publicly available right now, but I'll make it publicly available. As of now, it is only locally available for me. I'll make it publicly available also. Like if you see, this is the locally available. I've opened it from my local laptop. I'll make it publicly available also. Once I do it, you'll be able to access. So that's all. That's all about the video. And if you like the video, please subscribe to the channel and please add a comment of your score if you want to. That would be grateful. And please subscribe to the channel. That would be very useful for me, because it takes a lot of time to create videos such as these. Lot of time and efforts it's been added to create videos such as this. So that's the overall understanding of the for loops. So we have covered day 5 of shell scripting. In our next video, we'll try to cover functions in shell scripting, like how to add these same things as functions. You can add it. That's all. Thank you for watching the video.